Shanks is built different. He took out Kid and Killer at the same time with just one attack, the same move that Roger used on Oden, Divine Departure. This is the same kid that fought against Big Mom and Kaido and was able to tank a lot of damage and was nearly killed in just one blow. And now his crew has been eradicated and are out of the race to become Pirate King. Not only that, Shanks has the best future sight we have seen in the series thus far, seeing more than 10 seconds into the future, which is absolutely wild. And I wonder just how far into the future could Shanks see, because he does tend to warn people about certain characters or events. So maybe because of this hockey, he's able to foresee certain events happening in the future and why he's so worried about Blackbeard. We also learned that despite his crew being one of, if not the strongest in the world, his fleet is considered rather weak. But what is it that makes them so special where they're both highly respected and feared throughout the world? For one, they are subscribed to this channel. Just kidding. But for real, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, click the bell icon to stay notified for more videos like this. I greatly appreciate it. And for those of you who do, I'll be sure to give you a hug and a kiss on the cheek with consent, of course. So I would argue the red-haired pirates are the strongest crew in the entire world from top to bottom as of right now, followed by the Blackbeard pirates, who I think a lot of people sleep on, and I never see them in like top 30 strongest list. We need to change that, put some respect on the Blackbeard pirates. That's a discussion for another time, I digress. There is evidence within the story to indicate that this is the strongest crew in the world, having the highest average bounty of any Emperor crew, also being considered impenetrable with no weak links, with Yasopp, Lucky Roux, and Beckman specifically being outed as notorious members, having their own names known throughout the world, which is pretty massive, highly hinting that they are probably the strongest commanders of any Emperor crew, with each member being a pretty big deal, especially the three mentioned prior, like Yasopp, who Shanks went out of his way to try to recruit him based on the rumors he heard about him, which was revealed in chapter 0, and based on that, it seems as though Yasopp was supposed to be the first member recruited into the red-haired pirates, but he declined until he wanted to be a deadbeat. Claiming he can shoot the antenna off an ant without harming its body 100 feet away, and said to have never missed a shot, he's truly a remarkable marksman and the best sniper in the world. Unfortunately, a lot of Yasopp's hype got cut out of the series. As you know, one of the fillers in Loketown when he fought Daddy Masterson was unfortunately cut out of the manga because Oda thought he didn't have enough time, but also Garp had a conversation with Usopp during Enies lobby where he tells Usopp about his legendary father, showing just how notorious Yasopp really is, but unfortunately that got cut out as well. And in Film Red, where we learn a lot of the fighting styles and abilities of the red-haired pirates officers, Yasopp has exceptional observation hockey, even surpassing that of Cotter Curry, who can see into the future, and Yasopp can communicate and see through the eyes of Usopp despite being in an alternate dimension. Then there's Ben Beckman, the vice captain of the red-haired pirates, considered to be the moon to Shanks' son, similar to Rayleigh and Roger and Luffy and Zoro, proving he's among the elite and comparable to that of his captain. Capable of stopping Admiral Kizu dead in his tracks for a brief moment through his reputation alone, and highly hinting that it was him that cut off Kid's arm, and that is no small feat, as Kid is a very powerful character that alongside Law was able to take out Big Mom. In fact, during that battle, Kid's crew got beat so badly they didn't even get a glimpse of Shanks' face. Just the mere fact that Lucky Roux, Yasopp, and Beckman were outed as three notorious pirates within the Emperor crew alone just lets you know how powerful these guys are. And that's not to mention the other members of the crew such as Lime Juice, Building Snake, Hongo, Howling Gab, Ponk Punch, and Monster, a friggin' monkey. The crew seems to be structured similar to that of the Straw Hat. You have the officers, which are the main crew, and then you have the Grand Fleet. As seen with Kid entering Elbaf, all of these people allied with Shanks are notorious pirates and are big shots within the New World. Not to mention his biggest allies, no pun intended, Elbaf, as it appears that island is under the territory of red-haired Shanks, even having Dory, Broggy, and the giant warrior pirates as his allies. There's also the fact that Elbaf is considered the strongest nation in the world, consisting of the strongest army. So the fact that Shanks has these guys at his disposal is incredibly massive. So the fact that these guys would even ally with Shanks is a testament to his strength and his reputation. And then there's the GOAT himself, the captain of the red-haired pirates. Shanks and his accolades speak for itself. Former member of the Roger Pirates, daily duels with the world's greatest swordsman Mihawk, clashed with Whitebeard and Split the Sky, stopped Kaido from going to Marineford War, blocked Akainu easily, stopped Marineford War, made Blackbeard and his crew retreat, sensed, stopped, and punked Greenbull with just his haki alone despite being miles away outside of Wano, and did the same thing to Fujitora and Kizaru, making both admirals retreat. Again, this was in Film Red and it's a movie, so take that with a grain of salt. Was on Kaido's top 5 list of people that can fight him, a list that included Roxy, Zebek, Roger, Oden, and Whitebeard, with Shanks being the only person there alive. Was granted an audience with the Gorosei with no problem. He is known as the Observation Killer, allowing him to control his own presence and prevent people from seeing into the future or use observation around him. He easily has some of the best haki in the entire series, where even characters like Jinbei and Yamato commented on his haki being monstrous, and is most likely about to beat the dog shit out of Kid. This man is built different. 1,000+ chapters, these guys are absolutely notorious and are considered to be the strongest crew in the entire world. But it also goes much deeper than that, as Shanks' name holds a lot of weight as well. As it turns out, 12 years ago, it was Shanks and his crew that robbed the world government ship that was containing the Gum Gum fruit and had Who's Who on the ship, and they obliterated them, stole the fruit, and then eventually Luffy ate it. This act was so egregious that Who's Who got sent to prison and became a slave for several years, showing just how important this fruit is. But despite all of that, Shanks has a pretty good relationship, or at least is highly respected among the Gorosei and Fleet Admiral Sengoku. Why is that? So despite being one of the 4 emperors and a former member of Roger's crew and doing all of this nut shit, even robbing the world government, they seem to forgive him a lot more than most, which is definitely odd, but that may be due to his personality and heritage. Shanks is considered within and outside of the story to be a character that's all about the balance of the world and preserving it. Even stated by the Gorosei themselves, Shanks is not a greedy, evil pirate that's all about bringing chaos, but in fact wants to maintain the order and peace of the world. So they've never really been bothered by Shanks and his actions due to his morale and personality. But there's actually a deeper meaning to this, as it was revealed in Film Red that it's highly hinted that Shanks may have some royal blood, specifically that of the Celestial Dragons. They specifically state that they were not trying to really hurt Uta, as they feared that she had the same blood as Shanks, the Figurlin blood. And as we're not really sure what that really means, this ties back to God's Valley, as it was revealed by Oda that Shanks, similar to Uta, was found in a treasure chest by the Roger Pirates shortly after the God's Valley incident. What the hell was a child doing in a treasure chest anyways? Well, we do know that God's Valley was a place that the Celestial Dragons frequented and was always there, so most likely Shanks is one of the children of the 20 family, specifically the Figurland, and they were on that island, and in order to save him, they put him inside of a chest, and thus was found by Roger and his crew. Kind of makes you wonder where Buggy came from, as he's the same age and seemed to have been raised alongside Shanks. Maybe he's the son of Rocks, maybe he's something special. Only time will tell. We'll talk about the clown later. But if this theory proves to be correct, then that means Shanks is a celestial dragon, which is why they tend to give him a lot more leeway, similar to that of Doflamingo, who was able to get away with so much bullshit over the course of his pirate career. Because there should be no reason for Shanks to be able to rob the world government of this legendary fruit that they themselves are afraid of, and yet they kind of forgive him for the whole ordeal, despite making one of their agents go to prison and become a slave. And even being a former member of Roger's crew already makes you a criminal. So the only plausible explanation is that he shares the blood of a celestial dragon, making him unique and basically untouchable. There's also the possibility that he himself knows what the One Piece is, but because he's never been truly interested in it, as stated by the Gorosei and Shanks' action until recently, he's not really going to do anything about it. He may even be a guardian for the One Piece, waiting for the right person, Luffy, in order to find it. which makes a lot of sense for his character as he truly believes in the new generation, as well as knowing Luffy said the same words as Roger and even betting his left arm for it and giving him the straw hat. It's possible that the final road poneglyph could be on Elbaf, as Saul may be the man marked by flame that knows the location of where it is. And if he's in Elbaf, that means he's under Shanks' territory, meaning that Shanks is quite literally guarding the One Piece. So based off his actions and how he treats Luffy, it does appear that he's waiting for him to one day surpass him and finally become the Pirate King, the one the world has been waiting for. That's the video. They're currently fighting against the Kid Pirates, and so I do believe we're gonna get a glimpse at the bare minimum of what these guys are capable of, as these guys are the most anticipated crews in the entire series, and a lot of people have been salivating at the mere thought of Shanks fighting. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of the red-haired pirates and what you expect out of them. Other than that, I hope you guys have a good day and a good night. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.